What's going on, everybody? Figured I'd do a little technical video on my bike here, since I'm putting it up for sale. Just go over the details and stuff about it. Kind of explain why I did what I did, why I went with the parts I went with. 92 Softail Custom, a Harley Davidson. Starting off with the engine, stock was an 80 cubic inch Evo, version 1. I boarded out, actually NHR's Performance boarded out to a 83 cubic inch with Wiseco pistons, 8.5 to 1 compression. Replaced the front cylinder because it was cracked. Left the bottom end, took it down to the cases, but I left the bottom end. Everything seemed to be okay, so I left that. The bike originally had 22,000 miles on it when I bought it back in, I think it was 2012. So I've completely rebuilt the bike from the frame up. Took it down, got it powder coated. So back to the engine. Now it's an 83 cubic inch, topped off with a S&S Super E shorty carb, S&S Stealth air cleaner with an FMA choke knob, because I didn't like the S&S choke lever that it came with. Dynatech electronic ignition, and that kind of that eliminates that big box that these Softails came with back in the day, and it puts everything in the points cover. Obviously it's not points, but that's, whatever. Let's see, other NGK spark plugs, Excel wires. You can kind of see, got the Excel wires, 8.8 millimeter Excel wires, NGK spark plugs. Primary wise, I went to, the only thing I did to it, other than the BDL brand new clutch that eliminates that spring plate that it came with stock, is I put an automatic chain tensioner on it, because I didn't like the slack that the Harley stock primary chain usually has, and so I put the automatic chain tensioner on it, so it kind of eliminates the fact that you have to adjust that chain tension all the time, and it's set, and it adjusts on its own, and it actually shifts a lot smoother and a lot more positive. And also I made my own linkage here for the shifter with PTFE lined rod bearings, so you get a nice firm, but it doesn't feel like too metallic, but it's nice and positive. Final drive wise, went with a chain conversion. It's running a Diamond 530 O-ring chain and PBI sprockets. The rear is a 48, and I want to say the front was a 27 offset. And gearing wise, I have it geared, like I ride a lot of canyon roads, so I geared it. I didn't gear it for the freeway, because I don't do a lot of freeway riding, so I geared it more for canyon type roads. So the 48 seems to be pretty good. Let's see, moving on. Like I said, frame was taken down, powder coated, a semi-gloss black. Pretty much all the black on the bike is semi-gloss black. Triple trees, frame, oil tank. So sheet metal wise, no front fender. Stock tanks, I painted them myself with a paint called Speed Blue, and I kind of laid it on almost like a frosted look. You can kind of get the details of that. And also the rear fender. Rear fender is aluminum that I handmade. Made all the supports, so all these are aluminum. All the supports down in there, all aluminum. And these are actually anodized black, so they're not powder coated, but they're anodized because they're aluminum. And I kind of wanted to have that aluminum look to them, so they got the anodizing. Let's see. Dash wise, stock dash, but I redid the lights so that they're LED lights now. I still have the same neutral and the oil pressure light, but like I said, they're LED now. And I moved all the switches from the handlebars down to the dash. So you have your on and your start switch here. Still the main electrical is the switch, which is still has a key. And then I went to a GPS speedometer, Speed Hut GPS speedometer, which is kind of nice because it kind of gets rid of that ugly cable that these bikes had running down to the front hub. And left this open, and I made a little cover plate that covers up all the electrical circuit breakers under there. But all the wiring is contained in the dash, which kind of leaves a lot of wiring, but at the same time everything is centrally located in that spot. And I made my own wiring harness for the bike. So I went from like 30 something wires down to 6 main wires, and everything, the main plugs, if they're multiple plug, they're all the weather pack. So the headlight, the tail light down here, which is a LED tail light, weather pack connector, and then the main, like I said, that 6 wire plug underneath is a weather pack connector plug. Oil tank wise, going along with the sheet metal, it's a Daytech oil tank, which I like because it fits the frame better than the stock one did, and it just looks better. It just looks cleaner because it rides right with this frame line right here, which is that Daytech. Still houses the battery the same way, which is a YU ASA battery. Like I said, all the switches are now centralized here. And then up on top, got some mini apes that I made with a 6-inch riser. And for me, I'm about 5'8", but I have long arms. So to me, I made the bike, seating position and everything, made the bike so that it would fit me. And that's where the seating position came from. So seat-wise is a custom seat that I made, covered in Brazilian suede, and then these custom mounts that I made, like I said, to put it exactly where I would need it, so that because my legs aren't as long as in proportion to my arms, so I needed it to be kind of farther up from where the stock seating position was. Going on to the brakes, I went and pieced together a Brembo system, because you can buy a Brembo system for the bike, but the thing is that costs a lot of money. And I figured by looking at the calipers that I could find all my own calipers, and so that's what I did. Front caliper is a Brembo caliper off of a BMW, and then I went, QTMI Brembo in Anaheim sells the Brembo floating rotors. So there's an 11.5-inch disc up front, and in the rear we have this caliper, which is off a Ducati Monster, same with an 11.5-inch Brembo floating rotor. EBC organic pads, and I did the bed-in period, and I really like the way it stops. To me, it stops really positive. There's good progression in the on the brake lever. It probably, you wouldn't be using this bike on the track, but pads definitely wouldn't be good for the track. But just for the regular street riding and canes that I do, man, they're great. I love the feel of them. I've even ridden new Harleys, and it doesn't break as good, which I think is something also has to do with I lighten the bike up a lot. Custom brake anchor here made, and then all the brackets are laser cut out of stainless steel and then powder coated semi-gloss black. So they're going to be lasting a long time. Front wheel is an Excel rim, and then what I did was the 06 and up Softail has a 1-inch front axle, so I went to the 06 and newer hub for the front, which eliminates, because I was eliminating the speedometer cable. So now, because I didn't need that, and for those Softails it runs it out of the transmission, I went with this, and it's a cleaner look. So the hub is a 1-inch, and it has the sealed bearings, and then a 1-inch axle, Excel rim, and then running a Metzler ME880 tire in the front, and then a Metzler ME880 marathon tire in the rear, and stepped it up to a 140. Stock, it came with a 130. Let's see. Roland Sands exhaust, stainless steel exhaust, ceramic coated black. And then, brake-wise, also running the Ducati Superbike master cylinder, and then the touring bike master cylinder for the front. And that seems to be a pretty good setup to run that front brake pretty efficiently. and I like it a lot. Plus, it's a pretty clean looking master cylinder, and it's a Brembo master cylinder. You can even, if you take the lever off, you can see there's a Brembo logo on it. So I figured, that would be a good master cylinder to pick. Progressive springs in the front forks, and an adjustable rear shock in the back, which adjusts for preload and for height. Got it set up a little on the stiffer side. Plus, like I said, I'm about 5'8" and I weigh about 170 pounds, and so I have it set up for my weight right now. Pinjal Petcock, and then all Motion Pro custom cables that I measured and had them make for me, and then I used all the clamps, to kind of neaten them up and tuck them away so they're not all hanging out all crazy. And then a HID headlight. Kind of went with the round 5, and I think it's like 5 1/4 or something headlight. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I get a lot of compliments on the paint and on the bike in general. And right now I've got about, let's see, when this thing fires up and acquires, you'll be able to see, got 1,634 miles on it, and the bike has been great so far, and haven't had any crazy issues with it, and I'm pretty happy with the way everything came out. I've been running a Mobil 1, the 20W50 V-twin oil in it that they make for the air-cooled bikes. I'm pretty happy with it so far. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or if you're looking at the bike to buy, let me know. And I'm in Southern California, and we can make an arrangement if you would like to come see it. So yeah, let me know, and I'll start it up real quick so you guys can hear it. Idle's pretty good, and the exhaust isn't too crazy loud, but it still gives you that that Harley sound, like that you want from it. You still get it. So yeah, like I said, if you're interested in the bike, let me know. Leave me a comment or a message, or if you found this through my ad, just contact me through there. All right, thank you. Have a good one.